Let me share a really simple concept. And I've sent this message out to you before about the sales difference, differentiating yourself, or what have you. And I always think we have to separate ourselves. And recently I was driving with a business partner and we were talking, and he said, well, what's your sales philosophy? And I said, with the internet today, customers can get access to pricing and product knowledge and information and service requirements and service offerings that customers and prospects provide one another. And it's one of those things when you look at sales, a lot of times what we sell can get commoditized. And we always talk about, well, you got to sell value, and we do. But I think sometimes we forget we're also selling ourselves. And one of the things when I send out these lessons and I invest in clients, I sometimes sit there and go, you know what, I don't know if I do this very well. And sometimes we don't practice what we preach because we invest so much into our clients. And so recently I was meeting with a prospect and I asked a really simple question, the one you're looking at right now. I said, here's my understanding of your needs. Here's my understanding of what you're looking for. Have I missed anything? So I demonstrated active listening and she said, no, this sounds great. You really have a good understanding of who we are. And that's even an element of differentiation. I said, can I ask you an off-the-wall question? And then at the end, will you tell me if you've ever had this question asked of you? So I built it up a little bit and she goes, well, sure. I said, what would you like from someone in my position you've never had before? And this is exactly what she did. She said, first of all, no, I have not had that question, but I have to tell you, I appreciate the question. She said, I think the one thing I would want, now really listen to this, because she does not answer my question, but she provides vital information. She said, I would really like someone who has the ability to come in here, deliver the services we've talked about, but have some creative ways to reinforce it. Now, if anybody knows me, I am a staunch advocate of reinforcement, whether it's lessons or video or coach the coach services or all the things that we do. The funny thing is, she really wasn't asking any questions of me or what I could deliver, but she was really depicting another need she had that she had not answered in the other set of questions I asked earlier in the sales call. So I said, what would you like from someone in my position you've never had before? She said, the one thing I would love is for someone to have the ability to reinforce what we're doing creatively, so it's not just event-based. That is absolutely a strength of our company. The second thing I did is I said, well, that's awesome. I really appreciate your feedback. What is something specific to my role as, let's say, an account manager, a salesperson? And she said, I don't know. I'd have to think about that, but I really appreciate it. And I said, will you do me a favor before we meet? Because we had agreed to a second appointment. I said, will you send me an email? And she said, yeah, I will. I've never had that before. And another day or two goes by. I said, here's the set of ideas for you. And she said, hey, I was thinking about our conversation and I thought of something. I don't want to be high pressured. I don't want the constant upsell and cross-sell. And I said, well, what do you mean? Could I call you? She said, sure. I call her and she says, a lot of times when we hire people, it becomes from a consulting standpoint, which is what we do, where you find more opportunities when you get in here of the things we're doing wrong. We're aware of those things, Tim, but we just don't need the constant reminder and we don't need to be constantly sold. And I said, well, could I state something back to you? She said, sure. I said, well, what if I'm doing a good job and you feel like I could help in other areas? How would we go about notifying each other of the opportunity of where that would occur? And she said, that's a great question. She said, how about if I let you know? I said, well, could we have a milestone of check-in? Guess what I was getting? Permission to upsell and cross-sell. It stemmed from the question that she had never had before. So whether you use this question or other questions, change up your question. But when you ask the question, what would you like from someone in my position you have never had before? Think about if you have multiple people servicing your accounts and your customers, each person asking this question. Now you've insulated yourself from the competition coming in. Good luck.